Hi guys, this is Nikki, also known as Faces Trader, and you're watching our Awesome Tennis channel for global market updates. Let me share to you a few news bits. I think the biggest news that I've read for the week, for the day, is that let me try to remember. Let's go to the charts first. Charts wise, a lot of people are very much scared because while the global cases are spiking, it seems as if the market doesn't care. You could see that last night, a lot of your strong names have still been rising, although it didn't close high. So Fastly traded as high as 81, closed at 75. You've got Planet Fitness trading at 68, Match Group 99. A lot of the strong, let me go to your resilient names. A lot of names actually gave up some of their gains last night. We saw some names like Spotify hitting 256 and then gave it down all the way to 241. But it's not all down. So some names continue to go up. Let's see. News-wise, let me read. Baozun was up 6%, $40. Etsy traded 101. It went as high as 104. Belly even reached 45. I remember seeing the news that China was restricting Bilibili. Let me share to you that news. I shared it last night in my inner circle, guys. Wait up. Let me get the There's an article. Let me just share it to you. China punishes ByteDance. Let's read it for you. So China is punishing ByteDance and Tencent-backed apps in a clampdown. China's penalized 10 of the country's most powerful, most popular live streaming apps, some of which are in a renewed crackdown on the fast-growing services backed by Tencent and ByteDance. Regulators singled out ByteDance, Sequa, and three apps run by Tencent-backed firms, Bilibili, Huya, and Douyu, among those subject to punishment ranging from halting new user signups to suspending content updates for the main channels. The Cyberspace Administration of China said in a notice posted Tuesday, the watchdog said these services must rectify vulgar and other problematic content and that it is blacklisting selected live streaming hosts without elaborating. NetEase's CC Live and Baidu Inc.'s Quanmin were also among those named. So Beijing is intensifying scrutiny over the country's internet giants as they deepen the foray into content and users grow into hundreds of millions. Live streaming in particular has burgeoned in the past years as platforms from Bilibili to Douyu become vibrant social media forums, penetrating well beyond cities and into the countryside, enabling an explosion of communication that has proven increasingly difficult to monitor. This in turn has fostered a growing cohort of online influencers with followings in the millions. It is unclear what the content suspensions encompass. Both Huya and Douyu, which divide content into channels like games or entertainment, posted in their main recommendation section that they have suspended updates. Representatives for Baidu, Bilibili, Huya, NetEase, and Douyu did not immediately respond to requests for comment. So the migration of viewership online during the pandemic has accelerated the phenomenon. Regulators this Tuesday, the punishment came after they conducted an examination of a total of 31 major streaming platforms. The top state broadcaster recently criticized Huya for hosting gaming ads in a channel offering free online courses for homebound students. In response, the company shut down its learning page, offering refunds to minors who spent their parents' money on games. In April, Chinese regulators suspended key channels in Baidu's flagship mobile app, citing vulgar content. The two-week punishment could reduce revenue from its core search and feed business in the June quarter by close to 2%, according to Jefferies analyst Thomas Chong. Actually, because of that, Huya was selling off. There was a gap down in Huya, as you could see here. After a lot of buy signals here at about 16 and 17, reaching as high as 20.5, we got the news last night. It's a gap down from 19.5, now it's 18.5. The news could cascade all the way down to 1676. Therefore, a lot of us were sort of a bit cautious on that news, sold some. So we had to sell down tonight, last night. Whether it will fall further, we're not sure. But the sad thing here is that these are short-term noise. The long term is, of course, higher for the live sports, live streaming of esports. But we could see that it is a deterrent, a possible deterrent. DouYu, however, was unaffected. And actually, if you have DouYu, it's now nearing 1146. That's about almost 50% up from our initial entry of about 780 to 8. So people might have to lock in some gains with that with that news. I'm not sure if the news will be seen in a negative light, but it could affect. Bilibili is still $45, still at all-time highs. Might be prudent to actually be locking in some gains after a strong move. Take note that Bilibili, even for 2020 alone, from January 16 to 46. I also saw a lot of schools, actually online education names were ramping up very strongly last night. Here's Yotao. Yotao, we said we liked it at about 14 for online education pick. I like Yotao and Coollearn. Yotao actually moved from about 14 last December 2019. That's about 7 months to as high as 37. I saw news that Disney is closing down all of their English stores in China. Disney English closes. Let me read the news for you. There's actually a validation that online education is the future, or rather, it's going to be online merging with offline. So Disney said that they're exiting their language school business, once envisioned as a 150 location chain, is now closing down their 27 stores. This is in New York Times. I'm going to read a non-paid. Okay, let's see. Disney English closes after 12 years. So they're offering tuition refunds right now. This is actually a strong way for other online English translation apps like Youtao to flourish further. The Walt Disney Company decided to shut down its 26 English learning centers all around China amid global COVID-19 pandemic. Over the past few years, we have noticed a shift in consumer preferences towards online learning experience, and this trend has been accelerated by the global pandemic as families are very hesitant to resume in-person supplemental learning classes. After a careful consideration, we have made the difficult decision to not reopen the centers. Mahesh Samat, EVP of Disney's Consumer Products, Gaming and Publishing Division for Asia Pacific region. Disney English has had more than 100,000 learners in China in the last 12 years, ever since launching in Shanghai in September 2008. As a result of COVID-19, Disney English centers have remained closed since January. We want to express our sincere gratitude to the entire learning community, and we are ensuring that each family of a Disney English learner is refunded accordingly. From June 26 to July 21, Disney English centers nationwide will begin processing tuition fee refunds. The free online courses provided by Disney English since March 19 was also terminated on June 22. So actually, as you could see, right now, schools are still closed in Beijing, Shanghai, or wait, let me see. I saw earlier that it was closed. I'm not sure if it opened. Beijing schools reopening. Either way, okay, so May 13, 2020, Beijing lowered its emergency response. From all 16 districts were considered low risk. Graduating Beijing students have resumed classes on April 27 and May 11. So nearly all Beijing schools were set to reopen by next month. Either way, it's very hard right now for a lot of offline schools to actually engage learning. And we can see that the transition has really been very strong for your online education stocks. So Yotao is very strong. This is already a triple from about 14 to 38. Or is it, no, not triple. 14 times 3 is 42. So it's almost triple. 1797, Coollearn. This is also an online education name listed last year. We got in somewhere at about 10. That was also near the IPO price. It reached as high as 40. So actually, after a 400% increase, it's now already at distribution mode. Either way, it tells you that online education names are very strong. In this team, you can see these names. GSX Tech Edu. People were saying that GSX this one helps people for their CFA classes. Went from 10 to as high as 58. Could pull back, but definitely the trend is very strong on your online education needs. These are your last this was like 20 years ago, TAL education. you could see that from 2011, sorry, 10 years ago, from about $4 to $70. So the trend is still intact for online education names, TAL, Edu, New Oriental Education, from about as low as 10 to 140. So it actually is something good, good trend. Online education is a good trend, such that I've been recommending for my inner circle group, Plural Site. So Plural Site had an IPO of about $15 2 years ago. Went as high as 35, 38, fell down to about $6 during pandemic. I think that they also had a secondary offering at about $20, specifically $19.50. So I would say that any drops of online education names could be picked up. So a Plural Site has support here at about 17, and also a stronger support at a higher low here at about $15, somewhere near that April-May area. Because I don't think that you are gonna be lucky enough to get it at about 9 or 7. So that's something that you want to check out. Yesterday, I'm not sure why all of the gene editing memes were. I think Invite was the reason that the all the gene and genetic editing was going up. Invite NVTA went 40% up and continued higher. You could see from about 18 rally to about 30 in 2 days. This is a genetic editing play. They got like a successful. I'll read the news for you. I think it was an oncology testing. Oncology is for cancer. So these companies are of course like innovative. They're kind of like the first movers in this industry. So there's a lot of hype going on in these kinds of names. Sales is $200 million. Market cap is $3 billion. Losses are $300 million. The price was 40% up after this news. So Invite and Archer DX. Let me read the news for you. Invite and Archer DX creating a global leader in comprehensive cancer genetics and precision oncology. The combination will bring germline and somatic testing, liquid biopsy, tissue genomic profiling onto a single platform, offering patients a full suite of cancer testing for risk, therapy, optimization, and personalized cancer monitoring. Provides unrivaled breadth and flexibility for clinicians, democratizing the use of genetics in routine care worldwide. Invite is a leading genetics company, and Archer DX, a leading genomics analysis company, democratizing precision oncology, announced that they have entered into a definitive agreement to combine. So it's like a merger with unrivaled breadth and scale in cancer genetics and precision oncology. So combined company will be able to transform care for cancer patients, accelerating adoption of genetics through the most comprehensive suite of products and services available, integrating germline testing, tumor profiling, liquid biopsy, technology services in a single platform, enabling precision approach from diagnostic testing to therapy optimization monitoring. From the beginning, Invite's goal has been to aggregate the world genetic test into a single platform. Take a look. I'm gonna like wait up, guys. I need to answer a call. Stop. Um, Sorry. Can I stop first? Can we stop recording? I need to answer. I'll stop lang. Sorry.